Hi. I'm going to tell you the story of the first time that I ever got in trouble and the first time I got sent to the principal's office. But first, understand that as a child, I was a huge practical joker, and playing pranks on my family and other kids was what I loved most in the world. And I used to, for example, go underneath the stairs in the basement and wait till one of my friends or family members walked down the steps and then reach my hand through the slats and grab their ankles and scare them. Or I would put conditioner in my hair and tell my mom someone put glue in my hair, all sorts of things like that. And as a child, I somehow thought that I was doing that for the amusement and the entertainment of my family, that I was doing it for them. And it wasn't until one day in 5th grade that I realized I was just performing for an audience of one, and that my jokes aren't funny, that nobody likes them, and that they can do without them. You guys laugh at that, but that's the most cutting part of this. So, as an adult, I didn't grow out of my love of practical jokes, and I still planned my April Fool's Day pranks at least 6 months in advance. And I was fired from a job in college because I bullied my very slender coworker into wedging himself between the wall and the filing cabinet in our boss's office, waiting for the perfect time to just pop out and scare the crap out of her, which I shouldn't have been fired for legally, except that I was on probation for having done that once before. So practical jokes have always kind of been something that I'm most passionate about in life. And you guys are a much better audience than my 5th grade class. So one morning in 5th grade DARE class, it was April 1st, and we were waiting for our beloved DARE officer, Officer Chris, to come in. And a couple minutes past the hour, a stranger we'd never met before, dressed like a policeman, comes lumbering in and introduces himself to the class, and he says, "Good morning, 5th graders. My name is Officer Bunn, and unfortunately, I'm here to give you some sad news. Officer Chris is no longer with us, and I'll be finishing your DARE class for the rest of the year." And on all of my classmates' faces was bewilderment. They were tearing up. They were very clearly verklempt, because the only police officer we had ever met in real life who had a gun and answered questions about being stoned and gave us candy was gone. And that's when I knew what was going on. It was April 1st, and he was trying to pull a prank on us. So, I'm savvier than that. I decided not only would I not be fooled, but I was going to turn the prank around on him. So, as he's consoling the class, I'm sitting there effervescent, knowing that I'm about to make a total fool out of him. And I raised my hand and I said, "Officer Bunn, that's good news, because we hated Officer Chris, and nobody liked him." And the class was completely silent, calculating what was going on, because eventually they would have understood what I was going for, and they would have jumped on board and backed me up had they realized what was going on. And my 5th grade teacher stands up and she says, "Sarah, enough! That was very rude, wasn't it?" Which stopped me dead in my tracks, and I sat down until I thought of something better to say. So I jumped back up and I said, "Officer Bunn, we're sick of Officer Chris. We wish he was dead, and we're sick of looking at his stupid pee hole all the time." And yeah, it's funny to you guys. It really, though, I might start tearing up. It was that intense. My 5th grade teacher didn't even let the punchline sink in, and she walked over and she yanked me up by my forearm, and she said, "I said enough. That was inappropriate, and now you're going to go down to the principal's office and explain exactly why that was inappropriate." And her face was bright red, and then my face was bright red, and Officer Bunn's face was bright red. And she was not only angry, just volcanically, ferociously angry, she was also humiliated, she looked embarrassed, and she looked sad. And that's when I realized that this was not going to be a funny day for me. And I skulked out of the room, and I was ostracized from humanity. And I couldn't even get into the principal's office before I broke down and started crying. And I was so overwhelmed just sitting in the room waiting for the principal to see me that I was sobbing uncontrollably. And the principal made me feel a little bit better and explained that I'm not allowed to interrupt in class or talk about mean lies I'd made up about Officer Chris and his pee hole. And I had to apologize to my teacher and to Officer Bunn. And then she let me go. But I was so overwhelmed and so distraught being cut so viscerally like that, just being reduced to nothing, that instead I just holed up in the girls' bathroom and decided to wait it out and cried a lot and sat there and just hung out by myself, feeling terrible and wishing that someone would shoot me in the face with a sawed-off shotgun. And then I heard the morning recess bell, and it hit me. A great idea. So I unlatched the stall door, and I pulled my feet up on the toilet seat, and I waited, and soon enough, this kind of oceanic hubbub of voices comes in, and a group of girls gets closer and closer and closer, and I yelled, this was right after Jurassic Park in the late 90s, "Hey, girls! Jurassic Park was true!" And I sprang to my feet and I said, "Dinosaurs are attacking the school!" and chased them out of the bathroom. So the punchline to it all is that I really received the message that you, my society, gave me that day, that it's not funny and it's awkward and inappropriate and makes everyone angry. But after that day in 5th grade, I wasn't performing for other people anymore. I learned I was just performing for an audience of one.